Welcome back, dear students. So today we'll continue with our next exercise on coordinate geometry. So the next exercise is entirely based on straight lines, which will be useful in your class 11. Okay, if you go for mathematics or science stream, then it's going to be useful in your class 11, right? Okay, so to understand straight lines, we'll take a graph sheet, we'll draw x-axis. Okay, so similarly we'll draw y-axis. Okay, and the very important thing which you need to know here is that the equation, we are going to learn about the equation of straight lines here, right? And the equation of x-axis is given by y equals to 0. So whenever you see y equals to 0, this represents your x-axis. Okay, so you need to be very careful with this, because in this x-axis the value of y is always 0, because we are not moving up, we are not moving down, so we are not moving vertically, so that's why the value of y is 0. Okay, so similarly, if you understood this part, you will be able to guess the equation of y-axis. So in y-axis we are not moving towards x, yes or no? Yes. So that's why, since we are not moving towards horizontal way in y-axis, so that's why x distance is 0. So that's why the equation of y-axis is x equals to 0. Okay, so whenever you are listening to the lecture, make sure that you take a graph sheet and do the things together with me. Okay, now next is a line parallel to x-axis. So let us see what will be the equation of the lines which are parallel to x-axis, right? Okay, now if I take this distance to be k, so that means from here to here is k, then the equation of line parallel to x-axis will be equals to y equals to k. Okay, because we have moved in the y direction, if you see here. Okay, so we have moved in the y direction by how much distance? By k. So that's why the equation of the line parallel to y-axis will be equals to y equals to k. Now you might think, what if this particular line moves downwards? Okay, that means somewhere over here, like this. Okay, so we have got answer for that as well. Suppose from here to here is again k. Okay, but since it is in the negative direction, it will be minus k. Is that clear? So that's why the equation of this line is going to be y equals to minus k. Okay, so pause the video to make the diagram. Now we'll see the equation of lines which are parallel to y-axis. Okay, so I have taken this line, okay, which is again at a distance of k from here. Okay, so from here to here is k. So in this case we have moved along the x-axis by distance k. So that's why the equation of this straight line parallel to y-axis at a distance k from origin is given by x equals to k. Fine. Similarly, in the negative direction we have x equals to minus k. So pause the video again to draw the graphs. Okay, now let's begin with the questions for the day, and this is your first question. Okay, so the first question number 1. So question says, draw the graph of each of the following linear equations given below. Now after so many questions, I'm just going to take few selective questions, and rest of the questions you will give it a try by yourself. Now this number 10 and number 11 I'm not going to do, because I have already shown you that y equals to 0 is nothing but your x-axis and x equals to 0 is your y-axis. Okay, so that's why I'm not going to draw graphs for these two questions, and I'm going to take few selected questions from the remaining ones. So as I said, take a graph paper, draw x-axis and y-axis. Now in this graph sheet I'm going to do a small manipulation, okay, which you can do in your graph sheet as well. Now I'm going to count 2 boxes to be 1 unit, like this, okay. So from here to here, okay, so in 2 boxes I'm counting it to be 1. That means from here to here, that means 1 box is counted as half, okay. So remember, 2 boxes are counted as 1 and 1 box is counted as 0.5 or half, okay. So with that we'll see the first problem. So that is x equals to 3. So obviously x equals to k is a line which is parallel to y-axis, okay. So that's why x equals to 3 is also a line parallel to y-axis, which is at a distance of 3, okay, because it says x is equals to 3, okay. So let us count where is 3. So from here to here, okay. So as I said, 2 boxes give me 1 unit, but we need 3, so that's why 2 into 3, that is 6 boxes give me 3. So from here let's count 1 2 3 4 5 6. So till here is my 3. I hope you are able to see through the arrow. So this gives me 3, okay. Now x equals to 3 is a line parallel to y-axis, which is at a distance of 3 units. So that's why this gives me the graph of the line x equals to 3. So pause the video to note down. Now we'll see the graph of this particular equation. So 2x is equals to 2x minus 7 is equals to 0. Now if you find the value of x from here, you take 7 out there and you'll take this 2 to the denominator, so it will be 7 by 2, which is nothing but 3.5, okay. So the value of x, that is x is equals to 3.5 from here, okay. So again it is the same kind of problem, right? X equals to 3.5. so let us check where is my 3.5. So as I said earlier, 1 box gives me 0.5, 0.5. So 2 boxes give me 1. So similarly, if you count, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, okay. So this is till here is 3, so this gives me 3.5 and this gives me 4. So 3.5 lies here, okay. So that's why my line looks somewhat like this, okay. So pause the video to note down. Now next is this one, number 6. So number 6 says y plus 6 is equals to 0. So that means y is equals to how much? Minus 6. And we know that y equals to k. Y equals to k is the equation of a line which is parallel to x-axis, right? Okay. So the distance is minus 6, and we know that 2 boxes are giving me how much? 1. Okay, so we have to search 6 units, so that's why it will be 6 into 2, that is 12. So from here we have to count 12, but since y is equals to minus, that is negative, so that's why we need to go down. So we'll start from here and we'll go down till 12, okay. So if you go down till 12, then this will be your line which is parallel to x-axis, okay. So pause the video to note down the graph. Now let us check the last one, that is question number 9. So here y is equals to 2y minus 5 is equals to 0. That means y is equals to again 2.5. So 2.5 here is 0.5, 1, 2, 1.5, 2, and this is 2.5. So this is again y equals to 2.5 is again a line parallel to x-axis, which is given by this one. So again pause the video to note down the graph. Okay, let's take the next question, that is, you need to draw the graph of each of the following linear equations. So I want you to know that if the variable's power is 1, then the equations are said to be linear equations, right? So in these equations, the variables present are x and y, and both x and y have got power to be 1. So that's why they are said to be linear equations. Now we are going to draw the graphs of these equations. So to draw the graphs, let us take the first question for example. Okay, so to draw the graph, we have to draw a table like this. Now what is the meaning of this table? I'll explain you here. Now if x is minus 1, okay, then 3 into minus 1 is how much? Minus 3. That means y becomes minus 3. So that's why when x is minus 1, the value of y is minus 3. That's what is the meaning of this. Now similarly, when x is 0, the value of y is also 3 into 0, which is 0. Okay, now when x is 1, the value of y will be 3 into 1, which is 3. Okay, so that's why the equation y equals to 3x has the corresponding table, which is given by this one. Now we'll take a graph sheet, and again as usual we'll draw x-axis and y-axis. Now from here we get 3 coordinates. So one is minus 1 comma minus 3. Okay, so whenever x is minus 1, the value of y is minus 3. So that's why one of the coordinate is minus 1 minus 3. So we'll plot minus 1 minus 3 in the graph paper. Similarly, the other coordinate is 0 comma 0, right? So 0 comma 0 is marked. Similarly, the other coordinate is 1 comma 3. So 1 comma 3 is marked. Now you take your scale, okay, align the scale with the 3 points. Okay, align the scale with 3 points and join them using a straight line this way. Okay, now suppose if any of these 3 is not lying in the line, then your plotting has got some mistake. Okay, so make sure that you plot the points carefully on the graph paper. Okay, so this gives you graph of question number 1. So pause the video to note down. Now let me take the other question, that is question number 8. So as usual I am going to do the same. That means I am going to draw the table. So whenever x is minus 2, okay, whenever x is minus 2, find the value of y. You will find it to be 3. Similarly, whenever x is 0, y is 0. Similarly, when x is 2, the value of y will be minus 3. You can verify this in your rough sheet, okay, or rough paper. Now take your graph paper, as usual draw x-axis and y-axis. So from here the coordinate is minus 2 comma 3. So we'll plot minus 2 comma 3. Next is 0 comma 0, and the other one is 2 comma minus 3. And after drawing 2 comma minus 3, what you need to do is you again take your scale, align the points and join them with a straight line. Okay, so pause the video to draw the diagram. Okay, now let us take this question. So in this question it is said you just need to draw the graph. So I am going to take a bit difficult one. I am going to take the 4th question. So 4th question says this one. Now whenever you have this kind of case, what you need to do is you just need to make it in this format. Okay, so the first format, whatever you are seeing, we'll just try to change in that format. Okay, so if you do that, then we have something like this. Yes, okay, and just keep one variable out there and the other variable will be lying in the right hand side. Okay, why we are doing that? We are doing that to construct the table. So hence we have the following table, which is this much. Now whenever y is minus 3, okay, so since there is a y in the right hand side, so whenever y is minus 3, then the value of x is going to be minus 1. You can verify it. Similarly, whenever y is 2, the value of x is going to be 0.5. You can again verify that. Similarly, whenever y is 7, the value of x is going to be 2. Fine. Now, as usual, we are going to draw the table for we are going to draw the graph for this particular table. So minus 1 comma minus 3 will be lying over there. Now 0.5 is exactly lying in between 0 and 1. Okay, so 0 and 1 is there, so in between these two is 0.5. okay, so here is going to be 0.5 and the value of y is 2, so my point will be somewhere over there, 0.5 comma 2. Okay, now the last one is 2 comma 7, so 2 comma 7 lies somewhere over there. So again take your scale, align the points and join them with the straight line. Fine. Now the question saying, the other part of the question saying, find the coordinates of the point where the graph or the line drawn meets the coordinate axis. That means this line is meeting the coordinate axis. That means coordinate axis means x-axis and y-axis. So this line is touching x-axis exactly at this point. Exactly at this point. So question is asking what is the coordinate of this point. Okay, this point. So if you see in your graph paper, after drawing, it is not lying in the origin. So that's why you cannot say that this is 0 comma 0. Okay, so it should be lying left to the origin. Please remember that. Okay, so we need to find the coordinate of this, and similarly we'll find the coordinate of this. Okay, the point where it intersects the y-axis. Okay, so we know that in x-axis what is 0? The value of y is 0. Okay, so just put the value of y to be 0 in this. You'll get your value for x, that is you'll get your abscissa, and your ordinate is already 0 here because y is 0. Okay, similarly here at this point the value for x is 0, so put the value of x to be 0 and find the value of y. Okay, your abscissa is already 0 here, you'll get your ordinate after putting the value x to be 0. Okay, so that's what I have done here. So whenever x is 0, y is going to be 1 by 3. So that's why the coordinate of this will be 0 comma 1 by 3. Okay, so at y-axis the line will intersect at 0 comma 1 by 3. Okay, similarly whenever x is 0, sorry, y is 0, that means in the x-axis we have got y to be 0, then y is, so then x is 1 by 5. Okay, so that's why the coordinate in the x-axis where the line intersects is 1 by 5 comma 0. So that's why the coordinates of the points where the line touches the coordinate axis are 0 comma 1 by 3 and 1 by 5 comma 0 respectively. So pause the video to note down. Now let's take the next question. So here you have been given a pair of lines. Okay, so you just need to draw the equations, draw the graphs of the given pair of equations, and you just need to check whether the given pair of equations are parallel or perpendicular to each other. Okay, so let's have a look at this particular problem. Now let me take the first problem, because by now you are familiar with how to draw the graphs of given linear equations. So let me take the first problem. So in the first problem there are two equations, and one of the equation is y equals to 3x minus 1. So let us construct a table for this, and the table looks somewhat like this. Okay, so it's not necessary that you need to give only these values, so you can give your own values and verify. Okay, so whenever 0 and the value of x is 0, value of y is going to be minus 1. Similarly, whenever x is 1, value of y is 2. Whenever x is 2, the value of y is going to be 5 for this equation. That means this first equation. Okay, So after doing this, we will do the same for the other equation as well. Okay, so for the other equation, my table is somewhat like this. Okay, so let us see the first table. The coordinates are 0, minus 1. So 0, minus 1 is here. Similarly 1, 2 we will plot, and 2, 5. So as usual, take your scale, align the points and join them with a straight line. Okay, now similarly we'll go for the other table. So in the other table, the coordinates are 0, 2. Other one is 1, 5, right? Okay, and the other one is minus 2, minus 4. So again, take your scale, align the points and join them with a straight line. Now if you see here carefully, it is clear that the two lines are parallel to each other. Okay, so at last you will conclude that the lines are parallel to each other, and don't forget to write the equation of the line, because teachers won't be knowing which line is this one. Okay, so it can be either the first one or the second one. So whichever line is this, you will mention the names. Okay, so for example, here I have mentioned that this is the line y equals to 3x minus 1, and this is the line y equals to 3x plus 2. Okay, so don't forget to mention the equation's name on the graph paper. Okay, so that's why at last I say that the given linear equations are parallel to each other. So pause the video to note down. Okay, so the next question is, again we have been given three straight lines. Okay, three linear equations have been given. In earlier case only two were given. In this case three linear equations have been given. So you just need to put the values of x between minus 2 to 4, and you just need to find the corresponding y values. So basically you just need to construct a table for each of these three equations where you need to find, or where you need to put the values of x in between minus 2 to 4. Okay, construct a table, plot the graphs, and you just need to see whether the graphs are parallel to each other or not. So I am leaving this work to you as homework. So complete it and submit it to me. So we'll go to the next problem. Okay, so the next problem is, you need to draw the graph of this equation. Okay, and from the graph, after drawing the graph, you need to find the value x1, that is the value of x when y is 3. Okay, similarly you'll find the value of x and you call it to be x2 when y is equals to minus 2. So we'll see the graph of the given equation. So as usual, the given equation is this one, so that's why the table for this looks somewhat like this. So you can verify by putting the values. Okay, now first coordinate here is 0, 1.5. So x value is 0 and y value is 1.5. So from here there is 1, so in between these two is 0.5, so that's why 1.5 lies somewhere over there. So y equals to 1.5 is somewhere over here. So this is my 0, 1.5. Now next is 1, 1. Other one is minus 1, 2. So again take your scale, align the points and join them with a straight line. So this is the graph of the given equation, right? Okay, now next is, question says the value of y is 3. So the value of y will be 3 exactly here, right? Okay, but in this horizontal line, this line, the graph intersects this horizontal line exactly here, right? So that's why the value of y here is going to be 3. Okay, and let's see what is the coordinate of this. So the coordinate of this is minus 3, 3. So clearly it is seen that y value is 3. The value of y is 3. So whenever y is 3, we clearly see that x is minus 3. So that's why the value of x when y is 3 is minus 3. That's why my x1 is going to be minus 3. Okay, similarly the next one is what happens if y is equals to minus 2. Now y is equals to minus 1 is here, y equals to minus 2 is here, so exactly on this horizontal line the value of y is going to be minus 2. So this line, this brown line, crosses this horizontal line exactly here, right? So we'll try to find the coordinate of this. Okay, so the coordinate of this is given by 7 minus 2, and it is clearly seen that y is minus 2, right? So whenever y is minus 2, what is the value of x? It is 7. So the value of x2 is how much? 7. Okay, so pause the video to note down, and so this is your video. So you just pause it, and the rest of the sums you will complete by yourself and send it to me. Okay, thank you very much.